Imagine this. Inside a giant NASA test chamber, a set of helicopter blades starts spinning. At first it looks normal. Then the speed keeps rising, faster, faster, and faster, until the tips of those blades cross the sound barrier. Not for a fighter jet, not for a rocket, but for a future helicopter designed to fly on Mars. Now that sounds almost unbelievable, because Mars is not a place where flying should be easy. In fact, Mars barely has air. Its atmosphere is only about 1% as dense as Earth's. So if a helicopter wants to fly there, it has almost nothing to push against. And that is exactly why NASA had to push these rotor blades to such extreme speeds. The most important part is this: NASA did not fly a complete helicopter faster than sound. The helicopter itself did not go supersonic. What actually happened was even more specific. The tips of NASA's next-generation Mars helicopter rotor blades reached Mach 1.08 during testing. That means the fastest part of the blade moved faster than the speed of sound in simulated Martian conditions. And this one test could help future Mars helicopters fly farther, carry heavier science instruments, and explore places where rovers may never reach. But why is Mars flight so difficult? Why would NASA risk pushing helicopter blades into the dangerous zone around Mach 1? And how can one spinning blade change the future of Mars exploration? To understand that, we need to go back to the little helicopter that started it all. On April 19, 2021, NASA's Ingenuity helicopter did something that had never been done before. It lifted off from the surface of Mars. For a few seconds, this tiny aircraft hovered above another planet. It was a small flight, but historically, it was massive. For the first time ever, humans had achieved powered, controlled flight on another world. And Ingenuity was not built like a huge aircraft. It was small, it was light, it was experimental. NASA did not send it to Mars expecting it to become a long-term explorer. It was mainly a technology demonstration. Its job was to answer one simple question: can we fly on Mars? And the answer was yes. But then, something amazing happened. Ingenuity kept flying, again, and again, and again. NASA originally expected only a few flights, but Ingenuity completed 72 flights before its mission ended. That tiny helicopter proved that Mars exploration did not have to stay only on the ground. Before Ingenuity, when we imagined exploring Mars, we mostly imagined rovers, machines slowly driving across the red surface, carefully avoiding rocks, slowly moving around craters, taking months or years to travel long distances. But Ingenuity showed us another possibility. Mars could also be explored from the air, and that changed everything. Rovers are incredible machines. They can drill, photograph, analyze rocks, and survive for years. But they have one major limitation: they are stuck on the ground. If there is a steep cliff, they cannot climb it. If there is a dangerous sand trap, they have to avoid it. If there is a rocky field, they may take weeks to cross it. A helicopter does not have that problem. It can fly over obstacles, it can scout ahead, it can look at areas that a rover cannot safely reach. It can help scientists decide where to go next. That is why NASA is now looking beyond Ingenuity. Because Ingenuity proved flight was possible, but the next question is much bigger. Can future Mars helicopters become real science machines? Can they carry better cameras? Can they carry sensors? Can they carry larger batteries? Can they fly longer distances? Can they help future astronauts explore Mars safely? The answer may be yes, but there is a huge engineering problem. Mars is one of the hardest places in the solar system to fly. On Earth, flying is easier because we have a thick atmosphere. A helicopter blade pushes air downward. That downward push creates lift. The more air the blade can push, the more lift it can produce. But Mars is different. The Martian atmosphere is extremely thin. It is mostly carbon dioxide. It is cold, and compared to Earth, there are very few air molecules. So a helicopter on Mars is almost like a swimmer trying to swim through mist instead of water. You can move your arms as hard as you want, but there is barely anything to push against. That is what Mars does to a helicopter. It gives the blades very little air to grab, so NASA engineers have to fight for every bit of lift. They can make the blades larger, or they can spin the blades faster. But both solutions create problems. Larger blades are harder to fold, harder to package, and harder to send to Mars inside a spacecraft. Faster spinning blades create another danger. The tips of the blades can approach the speed of sound, and when that happens, aerodynamics becomes messy. Here's the part that makes this story so interesting. A helicopter does not have to fly forward faster than sound for its blades to reach the sound barrier. The blade is spinning in a circle. Near the center, the blade moves relatively slowly, but the tip of the blade travels a much bigger circle, so the tip moves much faster. That means even if the helicopter itself is not moving very fast, The outer edge of the blade can reach extreme speeds. On Earth, the speed of sound at sea level is roughly 760 miles per hour, but on Mars, the speed of sound is lower. Because the atmosphere is colder and mostly carbon dioxide, Mach 1 on Mars is roughly 540 miles per hour. So on Mars, helicopter blade tips can reach the sound barrier sooner, and that is dangerous, because near Mach 1, shock waves can form, drag can increase, lift can become unstable, the blade can vibrate, and efficiency can drop. In simple words, the helicopter may have to work harder while getting less useful lift, and on Mars, that is a serious problem. Because if something breaks there, no one is going to repair it. There is no mechanic on Mars. There is no spare parts shop. There is no second chance. If a rotor blade fails, the mission could be over. That is why NASA was very careful with Ingenuity. During its flights, NASA kept Ingenuity's rotor speed below 2,700 RPM. They wanted to stay away from the risky physics near Mach 1. That made sense for Ingenuity. It was the first of its kind. It had to prove that flight could work at all. But future Mars helicopters will need more power and more lift. And that is why NASA had to test a much more extreme idea. Can Mars helicopter blades safely go beyond Mach 1? To answer that question, NASA engineers used the 25-foot space simulator at JPL, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California. This is not a normal test room. It is a giant chamber that can recreate space-like conditions. For this experiment, engineers removed Earth's air from the chamber. Then they added just enough carbon dioxide to simulate the thin atmosphere of Mars. Basically, they created a small piece of Mars on Earth. Then they mounted next-generation Mars helicopter rotor blades inside the chamber. These were not the same blades used on Ingenuity. These were newer rotor designs for future Mars aircraft concepts. One design had 3 blades. Another had 2 longer blades connected to a concept called Skyfall. Then the real test began. The blades started spinning, the speed increased, the data started coming in, and NASA pushed the system harder and harder. The 3-bladed rotor reached 3,750 RPM. At that speed, the blade tips were already close to Mach 1. But NASA did not stop there. Because real flight on Mars is not happening in perfectly still air, Mars has winds, dust, gusts, and changing conditions. So inside the chamber, engineers also added headwind. That wind made the effective speed at the blade tips even higher, and after many test runs, the blade tips crossed Mach 1. They reached Mach 1.08, faster than the speed of sound in simulated Martian conditions. And the most important part? The blades survived. That is the real breakthrough. NASA proved that next-generation Mars helicopter blade tips can cross the sound barrier in Mars-like conditions without breaking apart. This was not done for drama. It was not done just to say, look, we broke Mach 1. It was done because future Mars helicopters may need this performance to carry more useful payloads. NASA says this kind of improvement could help increase lift capability by around 30%. And on Mars, 30% is huge because every gram matters. More lift means a helicopter can carry heavier science instruments. It can carry better cameras. It can carry larger batteries. It can potentially fly farther. And if it can fly farther, it can explore more of Mars in less time. That is what makes this test so exciting. It is not just about a rotor blade spinning fast inside a chamber. It is about what that blade could make possible later. Imagine a future Mars mission. A rover is driving across the surface. Ahead of it is a rough area filled with rocks, slopes, and possible sand traps. Instead of risking the rover, a helicopter lifts off. It flies ahead. It scans the route. It takes high-resolution images. It checks which path is safe. Then it sends that information back. The rover can now move more intelligently. Now imagine another mission. Scientists want to study a cliff wall where ancient rock layers are exposed. A rover cannot climb it. An orbiter can see it from above, but not in fine detail. A helicopter could fly close. It could photograph the layers from the side. It could examine places that have been impossible to reach for decades. That is why flying machines could become so important on Mars. They fill the gap between orbiters and rovers. Orbiters see the big picture from space. Rovers study the ground up close. But helicopters can explore from low altitude. They can move quickly. They can scout dangerous terrain. They can look at cliffs, craters, riverbeds, and canyons in a completely different way. And this matters because Mars is not just a red desert. Mars is a planet full of clues. Billions of years ago, Mars may have had rivers, lakes, maybe even environments that could have supported life. To understand that past, scientists need to study the right rocks, the right layers, the right ancient landscapes. But many of those places are hard to reach from the ground. A future helicopter could help solve that problem. It could go where wheels struggle. It could scout areas before a rover arrives. It could help scientists choose the most valuable targets. And one day, it could support human missions too. Picture astronauts on Mars. Before they drive across unknown terrain, a robotic helicopter flies ahead. It checks for hazards. It maps safe routes. It inspects equipment. It surveys the area around a base. In that future, Mars helicopters would not be just cool gadgets. They would be working tools, robotic scouts, flying science platforms, and maybe one of the most important technologies for exploring another planet. But to reach that future, NASA first has to solve the physics. That is why this Mach 1.08 test matters. There is something almost poetic about this. On Earth, breaking the sound barrier was once a symbol of speed. It was about jets, pilots, supersonic flight. But on Mars, breaking the sound barrier means something completely different. It is not about racing through the sky. It is about survival. It is about getting enough lift in an atmosphere that barely exists. On Earth, air helps aircraft fly. On Mars, the lack of air is the enemy. So NASA has to push the rotor blades to the edge just to make future flight more capable. That is what makes Mars exploration so different. Every simple thing becomes difficult. Driving is difficult. Landing is difficult. Communicating is difficult. Flying is extremely difficult. And yet, step by step, NASA keeps solving these problems. First, Ingenuity proved that flight on Mars was possible. Then it proved that flight could happen again and again. Now, these new rotor tests are showing how future Mars helicopters could become stronger and more useful. That is how exploration really works. Not through one magical breakthrough, but through hundreds of careful tests. One small improvement after another, one risk understood, one design improved, one impossible problem made slightly more possible. This is why the headline matters, not because NASA built a supersonic Mars helicopter. That would not be accurate. One small improvement after another, one risk understood, one design improved, one impossible problem made slightly more possible. This is why the headline matters, not because NASA built a supersonic Mars helicopter. That would not be accurate. And honestly, the correct story is more impressive, because it shows how hard NASA is working just to make flight practical on Mars. They are not chasing speed for fun. They are trying to build aircraft that can work in one of the harshest flying environments we know, a place with almost no air, cold temperatures, dust, winds, distance from Earth, and no possibility of repair. In that future, even a small improvement can change everything. A 30% lift improvement could mean better instruments, better missions, more science, and more places explored. That is why one spinning rotor blade in a test chamber could become a key step toward the future of Mars exploration. One day, a future Mars helicopter may rise above the red surface carrying real science instruments. It may fly over a crater that no rover can cross. It may scan a cliff wall that could hold clues about ancient water. It may guide astronauts across dangerous terrain. And when that happens, this test may be remembered as one of the moments that helped make it possible. Because before a helicopter can explore Mars, its blades have to survive Mars. And NASA just proved those blades can survive something extreme. The tips cross the sound barrier, not for speed, not for show, but to unlock a future where Mars is explored not only by rovers, but by flying machines. So the next time you hear that NASA broke the sound barrier with Mars helicopter technology, remember what really happened. It was not a helicopter flying like a jet. It was the fastest part of a rotor blade crossing Mach 1, so future helicopters can fly farther, carry more, and explore places that wheels may never reach. And that could be the beginning of a new era on Mars. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe for more science stories that make the future easier to understand.